Hello family. I want to talk to you today about the single most popular supplement in the world right now. Almost every patient who walks into my clinic tells me proudly, "Doctor, I am taking my vitamin D. I take 5,000 IUs every morning." They expect me to be happy. But often, I tell them something that shocks them. I tell them that I, personally, stopped taking plain vitamin D 3 years ago. Now, before you throw away your bottles, please listen. Vitamin D is essential. It is not even a vitamin, it is a steroid hormone that controls your immunity, your mood, and your bone density. Deficiency is a global crisis. However, taking vitamin D3 all by itself, without its necessary partners, can be a biological mistake. In some cases, it can actually make your health worse over time. You see, in nature, nutrients never exist in isolation. They work in teams. When you take a high dose of isolated vitamin D3, you are changing your body's chemistry in a very specific way that can lead to calcium building up in the wrong places. Today, I'm going to explain the calcium paradox. I will tell you why taking D3 alone might be causing your arteries to stiffen, and I will reveal the exact combination, the Holy Trinity of supplements, that I take instead to ensure my bones stay strong and my arteries stay clean. The problem, the calcium delivery truck. To understand why D3 alone is risky, you have to understand what D3 actually does. Its primary job is to increase the absorption of calcium from your food. Imagine vitamin D as a delivery truck. It goes to your gut, picks up the calcium from your lunch, and drives it into your bloodstream. This sounds great, right? We all want strong bones. But here is the problem. Vitamin D drives the calcium into the blood, but it does not tell the calcium where to go after that. If you have a flood of calcium in your blood and no one to direct traffic, that calcium gets confused. It settles in the soft tissues. It settles in your joints, causing stiffness. It settles in your kidneys, creating stones. And most dangerously, it settles in the walls of your arteries, turning them from flexible hoses into hard, calcified pipes. This is why some studies have shown that high calcium supplementation can actually increase heart attack risk. You have plenty of bricks, but no construction workers to lay them. The missing link, vitamin K2, the traffic cop. This is where the second player enters the game. This is what I take instead of plain D3. I take a combination of D3 and vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is the traffic cop. While D3 fills the blood with calcium, K2 activates a specific protein called osteocalcin. This protein grabs the calcium from the blood and physically carries it into the bone matrix. But K2 does something else even more miraculous. It activates another protein called matrix GLA. This protein acts like a vacuum cleaner. It goes into your arteries and soft tissues, scrapes away the calcium deposits, and sends them back to the bones where they belong. So, when you take D3 and K2 together, you are doing two things: you are preventing osteoporosis, bone loss, and you are preventing atherosclerosis, artery hardening, at the same time. Without K2, vitamin D is just halfway done. The hidden deficiency, magnesium, the ignition key. Now, there is a third character in this story that 90% of people ignore. And this is often the reason you feel tired or anxious even when you take supplements. I am talking about magnesium. You see, the vitamin D you buy in a pill is inactive. It is biologically useless until your body converts it. This conversion happens in the liver and the kidneys. But here is the catch: this conversion process runs on magnesium. Every time you swallow a vitamin D pill, your body has to use up its stored magnesium to turn that pill into the active hormone. If you are already low in magnesium, and because of our soil quality and stress levels, most of us are, taking vitamin D becomes a metabolic strain. It drains your magnesium reserves even further. This is why many people start taking vitamin D and suddenly develop leg cramps, heart palpitations, or insomnia. It is not a side effect of the vitamin D. It is a symptom of induced magnesium deficiency. So, the protocol must be complete. You cannot drive the car without the ignition key. What I take instead, the golden protocol. So, knowing all of this, what does my daily routine look like? I do not take a white pill of 5,000 IU of D3 anymore. Instead, I follow the D3K2 magnesium protocol. Step 1, the combination. I look for a supplement that contains D3 and K2, specifically in the form of MK7, in one liquid drop or capsule. Liquid is often better absorbed because D3 is a fat-soluble vitamin. The general ratio functional medicine doctors recommend is 100 micrograms of K2 for every 5,000 to 10,000 IU of D3. This keeps the balance perfect. Step 2, the absorption rule. I never take this on an empty stomach with just water. That is a waste of money. Vitamin D is fat soluble. It needs grease to enter your system. I take my drops with my biggest meal of the day that contains healthy fats, usually lunch with some ghee, avocado, or nuts. Step 3, the magnesium nightcap. Since D3 is energizing, I take it in the morning or afternoon. But at night, I take my magnesium. I take 400 mg of magnesium glycinate or bisglycinate about 1 hour before bed. By separating them, I give my body the magnesium fuel it needs to process the D3 I took earlier in the day. Plus, the magnesium helps with deep, restorative sleep. Nature's way, the ultimate source. Now, supplements are wonderful, but they are still synthesized. The absolute best form of vitamin D, the one that requires no processing and has practically zero toxicity risk, is the sun. Whenever possible, I skip the pill and step outside. But timing is everything. The morning sun is beautiful for waking up, but it doesn't make much vitamin D. You need the UVB rays. These are strongest around midday, usually between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. I aim for 15 to 20 minutes of midday sun exposure on my arms and legs, without sunscreen, at least 3 times a week. When your skin makes vitamin D from the sun, it has a built-in safety mechanism. Your body stops producing it once you have enough. You cannot overdose on sunlight-generated vitamin D. It is sulfated cholesterol that travels freely in the blood and supports the immune system in ways a pill never can. Signs you are doing it wrong. How do you know if your current routine is failing you? If you have been taking D3 for months but your blood levels haven't budged, you likely have an absorption issue or a magnesium deficiency. If you are taking calcium supplements along with high-dose D3 but not taking K2, and you notice your blood pressure creeping up, stop. You might be calcifying your vessels. Listen to your body. Health is not just about the number on a lab report. It is about how you feel. Conclusion: balance is medicine. My dear friends, the body is an orchestra. You cannot just make the drums louder and expect the music to be better. You need the piano, the violins, and the conductor to work in harmony. Vitamin D is the drummer. K2 is the conductor. Magnesium is the stage they stand on. Stop taking nutrients in isolation. Respect the complexity of your biology. Switch to a D3 plus K2 formula. Add your magnesium at night. And get out in the sun whenever you can. If you do this, you aren't just boosting a vitamin level, you are building a skeleton of steel and an immune system of iron. If you found this helpful, please share it with someone who is religiously popping their vitamin D pills without knowing the full story. Let us get healthy together. Stay healthy, stay blessed.